Hello, Professor. My name is Li Zixiang, and I will introduce the introduction and conclusion. The introduction of our culture is regarding the impact of China's structure on economic growth in this paper. We believe the demographic structure is a key determinant of education development. This study investigates the impact of changes in China demographic components, such as age, gender, urban, rural, and education structures, on economic growth through labor supply, saving patterns, and technological innovation. Insights from the research aim to provide guidance for policymaking that address these structural shifts.
Like we mentioned before, as an important embodiment of the population characteristics of a country or region, population structure covers multiple dimensions, such as age, gender, urban and rural distribution, and education level. Our literature review mainly focuses on the research about the impact of a population age structure on economic growth and the impact of a population or urban and rural structure on economic growth. For the first part, we focus on the age structure. Labor supply changes is the most important thing. Aging reduces working age population, creating labor shortages and increasing costs. And for the next part, we focus on the urban-rural structure of population. Labor force transfer and economic restructuring, urban construction and domestic demand driving, coordinate rural development and economic growth.
Hello, Professor. My name is Yan Ziqi. I want to introduce the Chapter 3, Methodology. First, I want to introduce methodology research design. Firstly, approach, combination of theoretical analysis and empirical testing. Secondly, modus, regression and panel data analysis to explore relationships between demographic factors and GDP growth. Secondly, data sources, national census data, statistical yearbooks, and international databases. Secondly, I want to introduce some methodology key formula. Empirical model GDP growth equal alpha plus beta 1 OADR plus beta 2 YDR plus beta 3 LFR plus beta 4 education plus beta 5 urbanization plus delta. Key variables. OADR means old age dependency ratio. YDR means youth dependency ratio. LFR means labor force ratio. Education means average education level. Urbanization means urban population ratio. Secondly, I want to introduce the methodology research scope. The study takes the impact of China population structure on economic growth as a theme and explore from three levels: national, corporate, and individual. The national level focused on macroeconomic policy adjustments, social security improvement, industrial upgrading, and fertility policy optimization. The corporate level analysis the impact of changing labor supply and consumption structure on industry development. The individual level studies the impact of aging on employment, family economic burden, and savings planning. Through comprehensive analysis, the impact of changing population structure on the economy is reviewed.
Birth rate and GDP per capita are negatively correlated. Higher GDP per capita leads to lower birth rates due to improved healthcare, education, and family planning. Birth rate and GNI shows a negatively correlation, confirming that high economic developments reduce birth rates. GNI and the elderly dependency ratio are positively correlated. Healthier economic facing aging due to lower birth rates and longer life expectancy. GDP per capita and elderly dependency ratio are positively correlated, reflecting aging challenges in advanced economics. GDP per capita and mortality rates are positively correlated, as aging in high GDP countries slightly increase mortality rates. GNI and mortality rates are positively correlated, influenced by aging populations and uneven healthcare distribution. Racial population and GNI are negatively correlated. Economic growth drives an urban realization and real to urban migration. Urban population and GNI are positively correlated. Higher GNI promotes urbanization and job growth in cities.
The conclusion of our culture is changes in China's demographic sector have had an all-round impact on economic growth. China's demographic dividend is disappearing, but if we have policies, but we can still find new growth drivers. Future economic policies need to find a balance between coping with aging, improving labor productivity, and providing social equity.